are you employed by an organization now,
No.
or are you primarily just a heartbeat officer?
I am the chief heartbeat officer and founder of my company.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, so you found a way to break free and do your own thing. I talk to a lot of the guys on LinkedIn. You read their guys and gals. If I can, that shows how old I am when I say that. But they have a LinkedIn page that looks like they're flying this solopreneur business. And, when we get down into the interview and I ask them, well, are you working for anybody or for yourself? And, well, I have to pay the bills, so I work for, which makes it very difficult. Now, if you wanted to give some advice as to how you actually become like your primary source of income is from your own business, because I've talked to a lot of them that want to get there, but they've got big plans, and this gets posted on LinkedIn, as well as other business sites that I do. But what would you say?
So I think, this has been, there's been a fair amount of challenges in doing this, Wink. And, when you come from a corporate environment, taking the leap to entrepreneur is hard. There's a lot that you don't know, and there's a lot you don't understand. And, you had the luxury of everything being done for you. So, my travel team handled my travel, and my, expense accounts were handled, and
Taxes.
I didn't have to think about accounts and receivables. I just didn't. So, I had to learn a lot of that, and I had to think about, okay, what is important to focus on first? And I think what it comes down to, if you are going to go out on your own, you've got to have something that's really important to you. You've got to love it. You've got to be passionate about it, because if you're half-ass about it, you're just not going to give it your all. So it's got to be something that drives you, and it's got to be something that resonates with people. I've talked to a few people on LinkedIn that are just getting started, and I talked to a woman the other day, and really bright, really smart, and I said, she's doing all this work for free, and I said, well, how are you going to make any money? She goes, I don't know yet. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
That just gave me such a heart attack. I'm like, oh my God, you got to plan it out. And I won't say it's been easy, and what I thought it was going to be and what it became weren't the same things, which is fine. It's gone through some evolutions. But, the one message that I teach a lot of, which was totally by accident, I teach a lot of companies the importance of building your personal brand, because they don't teach that. And so I speak to companies a lot on this lately. It's been awesome. I've enjoyed it so much, because I understand what it was like to be in a company, and then all of a sudden, oh shoot, I got to go out to LinkedIn, and this was the place I only went when I was mad. It wasn't the place that I was going to look for expertise or find connections or look for podcast guests. Or, I just didn't value it that way. And so by teaching them the basics of just how to get yourself presentable so you can start to show up, I love doing that for people. So that's a good one. But I think, really kind of figuring out what is going to be your sweet spot and your focus. And I will also say this, anybody that's starting out as an entrepreneur, there is a fair amount of social media you are going to have to navigate. And whether that's written content creation or video, I do a lot of video. You have to get comfortable with putting yourself out there. And a lot of people are not. But the more you do it, the better you get. So I started a podcast this year. I just had my 21st episode goes this week. So that's been fun. And, you're trying to be heard. You're trying to get your voice known. And if you've come from corporate, everyone at corporate knew me. But outside of that, other than my clients, not that many people did. So I really had to build that platform and figure out, how am I going to get my message out there? So,
yeah, and there's something else you do, and I don't think you do it knowingly. I think it's just part of who you are. But they will need to cultivate it if they don't have it. Have you done DISC, DISC?
I know what DISC is. No, I don't do DISC.
You know what it is.
Yeah.
Well, all of the ones that are the most successful across the social media spectrum that really, really get out there usually are strong in what they call the influencer. And that's this person that has the ability to walk into a room and immediately make connections with people. John Maxwell, he's one of my certifications, his program. He says that all leadership is influence. All leadership is influence.
Absolutely.
Few people, one of his other sayings is, everyone communicates, but few people connect. And when I watch your videos, you have this way of looking into the camera and making that immediate connection.
Oh, that's great.
Even though you're looking at a camera, I'm feeling you're looking at me.
Good, it's working. That's good.
When I'm watching that. So how do you teach that, is the question.
I had a friend
Go ahead.
when I was first starting out doing my video stuff. And I'll tell you, when I was announcing Heartbeat for Hire, I was sitting there and I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to press it, post. And I'm like, 1,000 people are going to see it right now. I think maybe 10 saw it. And then maybe 100 later. So it was not what I thought it was going to be. And then I started creating some video content and I was scared and I was like, oh, how is this going to be received? Are people going to get it? Are they going to like it? I don't even know. And I had a friend say, don't talk to your face. You got to talk to the camera. And I was like, okay, noted. And so, people very kindly would give little things. I love that video that you did about this. Oh, you like that? Okay, noted. I'll try and do more of that. But the one thing I really learned was you have to develop a hook. And the hook, it sounds very salesy, but the hook is really, how are you going to pull on people's heartstrings? How are you going to get their attention so that they resonate with the message you're giving? And at first, I was doing a lot of factual, kind of nice to know, you know this, right? It wasn't so much like, you're doing it wrong. And when you say that to someone, they're like, wait, what? Hold on. What are you saying? And that's the kind of tone you want to grab. So it takes time and you don't always hit. And I'm always amazed at the things that hit and that don't hit. And I can never understand why, because it's so varying, especially on multiple platforms. I'll do something on Insta and it will absolutely go crazy, and LinkedIn will be just quiet, or it'll go crazy on TikTok and nothing on YouTube. So it's so bizarre how people connect, but if they connect at all, then that makes me feel like I'm doing a good job.
Yeah, I don't know about you, but I get some of my biggest response on TikTok.
Yeah,
and
that was a surprise.
Total surprise for me. I was like, I'm not one of these guys that tap dances in front of the camera,
Yeah.
And yet I'm getting all these hits, and how does? And I'm over on Instagram getting nothing, just absolutely nothing. So if we knew what makes that happen, we wouldn't
all
be
be
talking.
millionaires.
We'd all be millionaires.
Yeah.
I know.
Off of our
I know.
content.